What's up, y'all? It's Kalechi Career, and me and my friend, also named Kalechi Creates, is my good friend and roommate. We teamed up together to decide to make you guys a cool tool called the Priority Assignment Tracker, which is the only, assignment tracker that uses a weighted algorithm to rank your assignments based on your actual syllabus and the number of days you have left in each task. So today I'm going to show you guys how to actually set up this priority tracker. And I'm going to go through one of my actual syllabi. I just got it today, the first day of class. And I'm going to show you guys how to input your syllabus info in each class to see the cool features. We have the dashboard, the assignments, and now we're on the help tab. And yeah, we'll just go through one by one and show you guys how to do it. Okay, so looking at step one, it says go to the syllabus tab, enter your classes and how much each category is worth, and ensure your weight checker is green for each class. So to get to the syllabus tab, we're going to use the navigation panel at the top, click on syllabus, and here we are. And now I'm going to split my screen and show my syllabus and how we're going to input our info. Okay, so we're now on the syllabus tab. You guys can see I have my syllabus on the right side. So we're going to show you guys how to enter your information. So now that we're on the syllabus tab, this weight checker right here, we do not have to edit anything in this table. We just have to go right here, input our class for whatever syllabus we're inputting. So right here, we have management 2250. The first category we look at right here, it says 4 tests and they are worth 40% of our final grade. So we'll call this tests. And for the weight, we can just type in 40, press enter. Now you can see that the total weight for the class went up to 40%. Now it is red because it has to be 100% for the tracker to work in full capacity. And of course, we'll get to 100%, but just so you guys are wondering, like, why is it red? That's because it's not 100% full yet. The next thing we see here is I have like 12 assignments. We'll just call those assignments, and those are also worth 40%. So we'll call these assignments, and these are worth 40%. Now we have another class. So same class, and we also have this 13th assignment that's worth 10% of our grade. So we'll just call this like 13th assignment. These are some weird categories, but y'all bear with me. This is worth 10%. And now for the last section of the syllabus, we have class participation. So this is also class participation. We'll just call it participation for short. And it is worth 10%. So you're going to see now that this weight checker, oh, I got to make sure that it's the same class. Delete that space. So you can see this weight checker right now is at 90%. It's going to go to 100% and turn green once we add this extra 10%. Boom. So once you see this green symbol or color in the total weight checker, that's how you know you've entered your syllabus info correctly. Now for the next part, we're going to go into assignments and start entering our assignments. So we'll hover over here on the navigation panel, click assignments. Boom. So we're now on the main assignments tab. So scrolling down to my syllabus, now we're going to enter each of our assignments in our syllabus, and this could really take you like 5 minutes if you get quick with it. But just for the sake of this tutorial, it may take me a bit longer. So we have our status here. So we haven't started any of these assignments. So I'm going to press not started here, not started here. And a cool little Google Sheets shortcut is if I click on this A4 cell, drag onto A5, then drag from the corner and drag it down, it's going to press not started for like all these assignments. So I already know I'm going to have a bunch of assignments I haven't started yet. So that's a cool time saver instead of clicking through every single one. Because it's the same thing, we're going to drag from B4 to B5 and then drag this down from the corner. Just so you know, that's some formality stuff. We all know that's all going to be the same. So our first assignment that's due, you can see here, we have homework 0 and homework 1 due by January 25th. So I'm going to type homework 0 here and homework 1. Homework 0, the assignment category is like the assignment, so I'm going to put it here. Then the due date is January 25th, 2026. Entering it like this. I can't say something like, this is a Monday, right? I can't be like, oh, next Sunday. That's not going to work. It's going to say input must be a valid date. So make sure you put actual dates into this column. The time, it's due at probably 11:59. That's what most assignments should do. Estimated hours. This one, you can leave it blank. It is an optional column. If I had to guess, this homework may take me just an hour. I just put 1 hour. Now, see, the weight here is already calculated. So if you remember, if we go back to our syllabus tab, the assignments category is worth 40%. Now you're wondering, okay, well, how come it's saying that, this one assignment is worth 40%? That's wrong. Okay, well, guess what? If I go and put this other homework assignment in that same category, what happens to the weight? Oh, it splits in two. So it's already calculated for you. The weight will update when you enter more assignments. You don't have to go through and put the weight for every single assignment. You don't want to touch this column. That's why it's a different color from the rest. It's a light gray. This is dark gray. Moving on. So the days left will also be calculated for you. So homework 1 is also due on January 25th. So we're just going to put that in. Oh, you can see it went red because it's past due. I accidentally put 2025. This is supposed to be 2026. So let me just fix that. Cool. We have both assignments due January 25th, 2026, and there's 13 days left. They're both worth 20%. And the priority score, this is a cool feature that's automatically calculated to calculate the priority score. It is a formula that is calculated based off of, how many days left you have to complete an assignment. But then the things that are worth more in your syllabus are going to be weighted more in the priority score. And after we enter all our assignments, we'll go onto the dashboard feature to see how the top priority assignments are listed on that cool feature. So we'll get to that in a second. The auto status, you don't have to type anything in this column. If things are past due, it'll come up as, let's see. If I mark this as past due, let's say this is late or something. It'll say late submission. So when you change that, it'll mark as different things. But if you haven't started an assignment, that column will be blank. And this column is for any notes you want to enter about an assignment. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and just enter in the rest assignments I have just to show you guys how this works. Self-introduction due January 26. So this is a self-introduction. Now, I don't believe this assignment is worth any points on my syllabus, however. So I'm not going to put in any category, and that's optional. You don't have to. This is due January 26, and probably 11:59 as well. Estimated hours, I'll probably say like half an hour. It's not going to have a weight, and that's okay because it's not a graded assignment. You see the priority score is much lower because it doesn't have a weight attached to it, so it's like just a to-do list task. So I think you guys get the gist. I'm doing an exam just to show you guys what an exam will look like. But ultimately, it's going to be the same thing the whole way down. So we'll do this test one real quick. So this is test one, and the category is the same class, but for tests, this is February 11th. I keep it in the wrong year, guys. I'm showing you guys. It's not. I'm showing you guys an error. Of course, if you do something from the past, it'll show up as red. That's how you know you did something wrong. So I'm going to go here, February 11th, 2026. My exam will be at 11 a.m. And you can see here now that probably an hour, the weight is automatically 40 because I haven't entered my other tests yet. But this priority score is not as high as some of the closer tasks because the priority score is boosted towards assignments that are due in the next 2 weeks. So we want to make sure that, even if you have a test a month out, an assignment you have due next week should take top priority over that test, if that makes sense. And yeah, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to enter the rest of the assignments in for my syllabus, and I'll see you guys afterwards. Okay, we are back. So as you can see, I put in my syllabus. Didn't even take me that long. It's only like, 18 rows. Some things to note. If you look at this priority score column, you can see typically that it's higher for the things that are due closer to today, and it's lower for things that are due farther. But then some of the tests at the bottom still have a pretty high priority score just because they are weighted for a lot. And you can also see this weight column. I never touched it, but the assignments weight that was originally 40%, it broke down into, 13 parts because there was 13 assignments. So that's some things to note. You don't want to edit the weight column or the priority score column. And yes, so now we can see how this is shown up on the dashboard. So go into our dashboard feature. Boom, this is our dashboard, y'all. This is our up next priority feed. Well, we can start at the top. From the top down, we have overdue assignments in red, 0 overdue assignments because we haven't started anything. We have assignments due this week. That is none because our first assignment is due in January 25th, which is essentially 13 days, 2 weeks from now. And the hours left, that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later. But we have a couple cool features. We have the semester progress bar that goes up as you mark assignments as done. And we have our up next priority feed. This is probably one of the main things. So the up next priority feed, essentially, you can see your top 5 assignments that are due within the next 4 weeks. You can see them or ranked from, highest priority to the 5th highest priority. So the first highest priority, homework 0, that is due Sunday, January 25th. That will take me about an hour to complete. And you can see homework 1 is next, the self-introduction. Then we have homework 2, homework 3, et cetera, et cetera. So then you're probably wondering, okay, what about my exams? Well, the exams are typically higher in priority, but right now, your first exam, test 1, is February 11th. So that's like a month away. So we're not going to put that in higher priority than the task you have that's due at the end of this week or the end of next week. Something to know is that these priorities are only showing for tasks that are due in the next 4 weeks. That's something to keep in mind. Now let's look at this critical overdue assignments feed. So right now, the filter says NA, essentially because there's no overdue assignments, but Let's see what happens when we mark a couple assignments as overdue. So let's say instead of January 25th, let's say this was due yesterday, the 11th of January. Let's say this was due the 7th of January, right? So now what the overdue assignments view is going to do is going to show this homework one as top priority and homework zero as second top priority because this was due -5 or 5 days ago and this was only due 1 day ago. So when we go here, boom, we can see homework one, critical overdue assignments. This is stuff that maybe you overslept and you forgot to submit an assignment. It's going to immediately show up here. And this is like your top priority of how to get back on track and get those grades if you guys have late possibilities for submission. Now you can also see that our up next priority feed changed, right? So before we had homework one and homework zero, but it's moved up now. Now you can see the top priority is the self-introduction. Then it's homework two, homework three, homework four, et cetera, et cetera. Now the exam still isn't showing because it's very far out, but let's move up the exam instead of February 11th. Let's say the exam is in 2 weeks. Let's put the exam on January 26th, the same day as my self-introduction. Now the exam should jump up to the highest priority. So when we go back, now test one is the highest priority, then the self-introduction, then homework two, homework three, homework four. And the test is just there. Of course, the test isn't something you can check off today. You can't check it off until you actually do it. But it's there just so you know that, okay, I had to study for this exam. So it's going to remain at the top of your priority feed. So that's how the up next priority feed works. It's automatic. You don't have to touch this at all. It updates by itself. So, you guys saw this. It changed from the first time we saw it. You can rewind the video and see if you need to. And yeah, we have a motivational quote. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit by Will Durant. I don't know who this guy is, but we have some motivational quotes that rotate for you guys. We have over 300 motivational quotes that just rotate whenever you edit anything on the tab. Let's change this from homework 6 to homework 16. When we go back, now it's different. It says you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great by Zig Ziglar. Pretty cool name. So yeah, that updates by itself. Don't have to worry about that. Let's look at the semester progress bar. Now for the semester progress bar, let's mark some assignments as done. So before I do this, we can go back and check. Progress bar is empty. Now if I go here, press done. Now you can see the progress bar has actually gone up. Why is that? Well, it's automatic. It's automated. Whenever you complete assignments, it'll show progress towards your semester being completed. Now, that went up a lot because I only input one class. So when I input, my 4 other classes, this semester progress bar would maybe increase by much less. But it's just a cool way to see how far you are into the semester and, keep track of it for yourself as well. Just a fun little view. And last thing I'll cover is the hours left. Up here, this hours left is the number of hours estimated from, whenever you input your estimated hours from any overdue assignments you have, plus the up next priority feed. So you got 2 hours right here, plus 3 hours right here. That's 5. You guys can see this, pretty straightforward. We'll go to the syllabus tab. It's all built off the syllabus tab. So it's very important you guys start here. And entering other classes, maybe if you had like an English 1101, I would just maybe put a space right there and just start entering exams project 90%. Remember, it won't go green until you enter 100. That's just to show you guys some more examples. And yeah, we'll go back to the help tab. When you click off, step 2 says go to the assignments tab. We already did that. And step 3 says check your dashboard daily. And at the bottom, it'll say you're ready to crush the semester because you guys are. Thank you guys for watching. Here we have some troubleshooting. You can see some of the main tips when interacting with the dashboard. So if you run into any issues, that's probably the most important thing. Just press Control Z. If you think you made an error or something went wrong, just press Control Z. It'll undo the formula. We've locked the formula so you guys can edit them. But if you think you made a mistake, whenever interacting with the dashboard, just press Control Z. And we have some troubleshooting tips just to make sure you guys don't do anything wrong. These will take literally 60 seconds to read. You can just skim over them. Don't delete tasks with backspace. You should just delete the whole row. Mark assignments is done. Syncing your time zone if you're not living in the East Coast like I am, EST time zone. Don't edit anything on the actual dashboard. You don't have to touch this. That's just there for view. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, we'll have a feedback form so you guys can submit any feedback you guys have. But thank you guys for watching.